Hi everyone, my name is Katerina Stoikova and I am the owner and senior editor of Accents Publishing, the press that conceived and ran the inaugural local accents um, award contest, right? So thank you for being here. It's wonderful to see, it's wonderful to be together. I thought that I'll call everybody on a celebratory reading if you're available because, and here I came up with 6 reasons. One is because we can. You know, we spoke about it a few minutes ago, how wonderful it is that we're able to do that and we're in so many different places at this point. 2, because writing is its own reward. Writing is its own award. There is nothing quite like writing, and everybody here knows that. We wouldn't be writing if we didn't know, we didn't feel the reward every time we do it. 3, because we need each other. Together we're stronger, and community is critical. Community to me is a critical success factor for writing. To be successful in writing, you need community. 4th reason for this meeting is because poetry needs to be heard. And I love listening to poetry just as much as I love reading it. 5, because I wanted to meet you all. Okay, so that is the selfish reason. I own up to it. And 6, because I thought it would be great fun. And for all these 6 reasons combined. So now everyone will read their poem, no particular order. I'll just call people as I see them on my screen. And if I forget someone, please forgive me and then say something. So I'll rely on you. Thank you. And I want to formally read the results of the contest, and then we'll start. The results from the inaugural local accents contest are in. The winning poem is American Politeness by Lenny Hay. There is Lenny. Congratulations, Lenny. Well done. And the finalists are Downloadable Caffeine by Tom C. Handley. Congratulations, Tom. Honeymoon by Marianne Peel. Congratulations, Marianne. Crematorium by Claudia Love Mayer. Congratulations, Claudia. And 2 days after returning home from teaching poetry and literature for 5 weeks in Istanbul by Libby Falk Jones. Yay, Libby, congratulations. So I would love to start hearing to everyone's poem. Feel free to introduce yourself and then read your poem, and we'll start with Chuck.
I usually go last with a name like Stringer, so this is a welcome surprise. But it's so good to be here, and I'll add a number 7. I'm going to make some new friends tonight, so that's a good reason to be here. So, but thanks so much for bringing this together, Katerina, and thanks to you and the staff of Accents Publishing and all that you do for poetry, because it's meant a lot to me over the years. So. I live in northern Kentucky, in Union, Kentucky, and one of the joys I'm blessed with in retirement is being able to walk every day by a creek near our home, Fowler's Fork. So I spend a lot of time on that creek, and a lot of my poems come out of the experience of wildness on that creek. Here's one that I actually like. You know, sometimes you spend so much time on a poem, it's hard to say that you like it when you're done. It may be good, it may be bad, but this is one I actually like. So I don't know if it's good or bad, but it was a joy to experience this day on the creek and write this poem. So it's called Sunday Poem. Today I find a new place just below West Bend on a slanted limestone slab tossed into Fowler's Fork only God knows how long ago. To the left leans a massive black oak. To the right spreads a maze of roots and a sugar maple's upturned trunk. Each tree charged with curling brown and yellow leaves, all fading, dying. I get comfortable, bend knees, seat butt, rest boots on the creek bottom, then listen to the water lap a stack of matted stones. Watch as one of the leaves breaks free and makes its way past a right bank sycamore, because something besides gravity keeps on pulling it downstream, where I will be headed when I stand, take up my walking stick, go. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Next, I see Melissa Helton.
Hi, I'm in southeastern Kentucky, and I'm originally from the Great Lakes region of Ohio. The poem I submitted comes from a manuscript where I'm writing about my family's history with immigration. We came over in 1635 all the way up to my father in the 1960s. So the whole history of colonization and American history, we came from England, Netherlands, Bavaria, Ireland, Germany, Norway. And so the manuscript is kind of investigating all the implications that means through America. The poem's in like 3 sections. There's the definitions, historical notes, and then a little bit of my father's story. Notes on citizenship. Definition 1, the status of being a citizen. 1790, any free, white, adult alien who resides for 2 years is eligible, after proving to the court they are of good moral character and swear allegiance to the Constitution. 1795, residence requirements increased from 2 to 5 years, have to renounce allegiance to other nations 3 years before, renounce any noble titles. Mama was a citizen and birthed me in Ohio, attended by a midwife named Penny and my foreigner father. 1802, aliens will be recorded upon entry at the border. 1855, alien women are granted citizenship upon marriage to a US man. Dad was a resident alien. I bragged about that because discussing citizenship status was not a threatening experience for our family. 1870, naturalization is opened to persons of African descent. 1898, a baby born on US soil to a Chinese mother is granted citizenship. 1918, an alien serving 3 years in the military will have 5-year residency requirement waived. Definition 2, membership to a community. 1922, a woman will lose US citizenship if she marries an alien. Japanese aliens residing here for even 20 years cannot be naturalized. After Dad's sister's son died and her marriage ended, he was granted a green card to stay and help care for her. 1923, a person from India cannot be naturalized. 1924, babies born in the US to indigenous mothers are granted citizenship. Dad had 2 marriages, 2 families, and never wanted it. 1934, rules for naturalization are equalized for men and women. A foreign-born child to a US citizen mother and alien father can naturalize after 5 years residence. Definition 3, the quality of an individual's membership in a community. 1965, the national origins formula abolished as basis for naturalization. After decades of breaking laws, I'm amazed Dad was never charged or deported. 1967, Americans won't lose citizenship by voting in foreign election or acquiring foreign dual citizenship. I have 2 passports, and everywhere feels a little like home and also not. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Melissa. Next, I see Lenny Lenora, the winner of the competition.
Thank you. Thank you for gathering. I've been looking forward to hearing these poems. I live on the river in southern Indiana, across from Louisville, half of the year, and the other half of the year on the Gulf of Mexico in Florida. I'm a retired educator. American politeness. May I ask a personal question? They say. I am weary of strangers' assumed right to know me. My weight, religious preference, sexual orientation. I chuckle silently, weighing an answer this time. Raised docile, I smile, yes. Where are you from? Always the follow-up. Their false politeness prompts my answers, meant to confuse. Minot, Crookston, Minneapolis, then Kentucky, where I was born, grew up, got educated, and learned how fellow citizens position me outside their landscape, pin me on a map in a foreign place for those who have silky black hair, pale skin, eyes like mine. I prolong my naivete. My interrogators squirm in confusion and discomfort. They hope that people who look like me took a boat here or flew adopted to the land of the free. I acquiesce as if I did not speak their language. Oh, you mean what is my ethnicity? My father immigrated from China. My mother was the daughter of German-Russian immigrants. I was born on the plains of North Dakota, near wheat fields and under endless skies. I hope they feel my words like a slammed door, like a gut punch.
Thank you, Lenny. Thank you. Kathleen, it's your turn.
Hello, everyone. So nice to be here tonight. Just as a preface to the poem I'm going to read, my son lives in China. And because of the pandemic, I have not seen him in 4 years. I miss him terribly, and I am writing a manuscript, or I actually have finished it, about visiting China and about having him so far away from me. So this is one of the poems from the manuscript. It's called Leaving Nate. 3 weeks packed with ancient culture, musical dialects, crowds everywhere, squat toilets, the taste of strange food, quiet moments with my son. Now time is up. I'm starting to yearn for steak, hamburgers, my own bed, the space of our 5 acres, blending in. But I feel heavy with the leaving, stones in my gut, thick sadness I can't swallow, wanting time to stop between the embrace and the letting go. At the airport, I check my bags, enter the security queue, turn to wave at my son one last time, turn again, before I disappear into the ticketed only areas and I glimpse Nate still watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. I see Sylvia Adams next.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. And thank you, Katerina, for hosting this. I just love that you are always in the mix of poetry and keeping it going, even when we can't get out places. So thank you for that. My name is Sylvia Adams. I'm a mentor at the Carnegie Center. And I guess I can rhyme, mentor and center. The poem I have is kind of a short poem, but it's amazing to me how one word or a phrase can sometimes really change the direction of your poem. And in this one, I was looking for a flower to use, and I came across bloodroot, which first of all intrigues me because it has blood in it. But it's the earliest spring flower. Native Americans used it as a restorative in their medicines. And the root is a rhizome, which is different than just a bulb, which all look the same. Rhizomes are kind of fingers or fists. They're gnarly things. And I like that idea of fingers and fists working under the soil. This is called The Long Wait. Winter refuses to let go. A tedious disease. Sludgy claw, clutching a numb heart. World, I need to move on. Slay fears like a mythic warrior, then wipe the scurf from my sword. On nights when the dark dizzies me breathless, I rejoice the bloodroot whispering, knuckling toward light. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. And Linda Freudenberger, it's you now. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. And Sylvia Ahrens is the one that got me interested in poetry. I was in the Author Academy working on my memoir, and she kept encouraging me to write poems. So here I am. And I'm working on I've completed a manuscript in Katerina's boot camp. And this poem is one and the manuscript is about grief and moving beyond grief, because I lost my husband 4 years ago. So, and this is one of the poems I wrote during the boot camp, and it was something that happened one day, and so I wrote about it. Poor Robin Redbreast, hanging on my window, 3 days straight, looking for his mate. Sometimes he dive bombs, and then he swoons softly sideways, barely touching the pain. Puzzled and unsure how to help, I listen for his thuds each new day. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. And next, I see Dr. Tom C. Hanley.
Okay. So my poem begins with a quote, an epigraph from David Berman, really great poet who wrote a book called Actual Air. And he also had a band called the Silver Jews, and then briefly a band called Purple Mountains. So the poem's called Downloadable Caffeine. Here's the quote from David Berman. All this new technology will eventually give us new feelings that will never completely displace the old ones, leaving everyone feeling quite nervous and split in two. I got to meet David Berman briefly and spend an evening with him a couple years before he died. Forgot to mention that part. Downloadable caffeine. Let's celebrate the coffee hour when the day could still take a right turn or a left turn or turn out better than okay, or at least better than yesterday. Sunlight might splash on your face and you might hear Nashville in a stone skipping or in the voices of those whose blood run at the orange. Let's call these winning lottery tickets before we scratch them in the coffee hour realm of could be, because singing a song into existence feels like injecting a new narcotic called Bridge Between Us, because I've been listening to David Berman for years and strumming a guitar that wouldn't let me learn to play it. Let's say a garage band opens the door for air as they work on Silver Jews covers, Pretty Eyes, Send in the Clouds, and I Remember Me. Let's say it's a real garage door and not a metaphor, unless metaphor means open up and let the music spill out, which it actually does, come to think of it. Metaphors are a radical invention. They connect us. Metaphors are OG cell phones. And what would Whitman have to say about post-punk revival? Welcome, world of thousands of friends with whom I'll never shake hands or share a hug. Welcome feelings that sit awkwardly and won't leave, because the present feels like 66% past and 33% future. And if you wake thinking, knowing anything with certainty feels like lifting an automobile off a wounded poodle, and a phrase from a tabloid headline like Bigfoot steals alien spacecraft rolls and rolls around your head. Let me tell you again about the night I saw a cover band play a Silver Jews set at the end in Nashville, how Bob Nastanovich and David Berman showed up, Bob all goofy charm, David humble and nervous and split. I wish I could go back, plug that music and that night into myself, inject a heavy dose of song, let it fill my cup. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Next, I see Kathy Perkins.
Oh, my. I'm Kathy Perkins, and you'll see why this next poem didn't get one of the top awards, but I'm a stand-up comedian as well as a poet. And this is sort of a tribute to Father's Day. It's called Ode to Gonads. Oh, tender testes, how I love how you hang at the forks of torsos, visible or hidden, underbellies or between flanks. Many of you so small you might not be seen at all. Ghoulies that droop long, low, and loose, like those on a moose, bull, ram, possibly a man. I'll be damned. Those banger balls must be blessed, lest they be beaten blue and bruised. Gonads that thwap side to side make some critters walk kind of wide. The cobblers of a man might fit in one hand, 2 pug-sized pebbles in the palm, and house about rocks that need cups to hold them up, and crypt orchids, creatures with just 1 sugar plum descended, or no stone out and about. Guess what? They can pop a nut, knock up. Some drool when sampling Rocky Mountain oysters. A student of fine dining savors succulent lamb fries. Oh, sweet, soft, salty, surround skin of the scrotum, silken field of fingers. No nut I've touched has been rough. Huevos, melted mouth, knacker snacks make lips smack. Colossal cojones take one's breath away. Oh, gasp. And nards with a nipple or teat, a visual treat. A dog's bullocks, just too cute trotting down the street. Oh, sacks of spermatozoa, creators of characters, tenders of temperaments, attitude adapters, jewels, junk, easy bruisers, brains, brawn, ego, pride, shiny, vein-lined, downy, dusted takers of common sense, makers of nonsense, progenitors of populations, fascinators of fascinations. Thank you for helping the world go around. Without y'all, I wonder, would the wheel have been found?
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Next, I see Karen George.
I have to follow that. Well, thanks, Katerina, for organizing this. It's nice to be here. My poem is a cento, and it's made up of lines and phrases from different Kentucky Writers Hall of Fames, writers that were in the Hall of Fame. And I'll just read a couple of them, a couple of their names. James Still, Bell Hooks, James Baker Hall, Nikki Finney, George Ella Lyon, Sina Jeter Nosland, Wendell Berry, Barbara Kingsolver, and Jesse Stewart. And I called this, I forgot to say, I'm Karen George, and I'm from Northern Kentucky. I've lived here all my life. And this poem is called Amassing a Map. What we have won't last forever. Pay close attention to everything. The long, undulating dream of nature, crickets drumming their legs in the grass, bees working the sticky blossoms, those deep and downy places. To escape the dark weight, the stuff of grief, rattling our walls day and night, sensations of being pulled underwater, drowning, the sick slick of it, like rivers on a map's face. Stay in your body, lean in, coil and uncoil in a constant state of yearning, green as water under a mossy bank. Practice resurrection, one part rapture, the electric pulse of desire, energy that holds everything together. Inhabit the pearly chamber of memory, a secret salve, a wet pink cave, a mouth in which time is about to sing in the thickening dark. To ask questions that have no answers, to speak the heart's longing. This will be your life's work, a sweet whisper of kindness, a language that can make us whole, like threads hold the seams of a garment. Your pockets are full of everything for the savoring. Soil, a divine drug, germinating seeds, the smell of leaves, rock-ribbed hills, open mountain spaces, wings humming like a dulcimer string, the warm tickling insides of joy rooted in music. Let the bending, circling trees catch you, each with its own language, thick with growing. The world is slowly becoming a quivering cocoon, a blazing, unfettered, holy vision. Thanks.
Thank you, Karen. Next, I see Ellen Burkett Morris.
Hi, I'm so glad to be with everybody tonight. I'm based in Louisville, and I was just so pleased to see that this opportunity to submit poems. And so I'm going to read you the poem I submitted. It's called The Dog and the Daisy. We are the same as the dog and the daisy, tricks of chemistry, fragile of body, believing we're special as we write, dream, paint, pretend. The illusion of control abandons us in real life. We take our place in the ground like every living thing. If I could write you a happier ending, I would. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen. And next, Preeti Gupta. Please, Preeti, read us a poem.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Preeti Gupta, and I wanted to thank Katrina. This is a wonderful space, and I am pretty new at writing. I've been living in Lexington for last 30 years, and originally I'm from India. And I'm a spiritual seeker, and most of my writings are about my own experience and how I view life and beyond. So this one I wrote last year, July 18th, 2021, early in the morning, 6:03 a.m. It's the title is Becoming More Aware, Alive, Alert. Becoming more aware, alive, alert. To come out of our old habit patterns, we need to be living moment to moment. And we need to be dying moment to moment. Dying means dropping all impressions of previous moments, being fresh and alive in every given moment. Away from shadow of judgment of pain, away from shadow of desires, away from shadow of hurt, away from shadow of disappointment, away from shadow of resentment, and away from shadow of fear, dropping it all moment to moment. Being fresh and alive, being light and luminous, being pure and peaceful, being simple and saintly. The stage is set for you. All the characters are here for a reason. Plan to come out of this maze. Do not let the world and its offerings consume you or entice you. Detach yourself from your character and form. Drop, 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 and come out clean. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Preeti.
Thank you.
And now I'll call Libby Folk Jones to read us her poem.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. Thank you. I am happy to be with you. I normally reside in Berea, Kentucky. Have been delighted to be able to work with a number of you with poems over the last years. I'm traveling right now in California on a very noisy bus, but it has Wi-Fi and we're actually making a stop for 20 minutes. So happy to be able to not only listen, but share my voice. My poem is 2 days after returning home from teaching poetry and literature for 5 weeks in Istanbul. The modern Southern woman poet sits on Monday morning at her laptop waiting for the air conditioner repair person, the refrigerator repair person, the clothes to finish washing. Don't think she is unconnected to the world of words, so she has turned off the radio, TV, volume control on the laptop. She still has the newspaper, email, internet, and has just ordered $100 of books by Turkish writers, mystical poetry by Hafiz, short stories by Saad Faik, whose name she now knows how to pronounce, a contemporary mystery set in Istanbul that got mixed reviews on Amazon, a novel about poor people who build houses on Istanbul's garbage dumps, and something called Mediterranean Waltz, whose genre she's forgotten since she looked it up on Saturday. In her downstairs fridge, the one that's not broken, she has a pot of Imam Fainted, a cold eggplant dish made from her Turkish friend 70s recipe. Don't think she's not hungry, though 10 a.m. is a little early for eggplant, not to mention tomatoes, onions, peppers. She has just read that Hafiz regrets not having kissed his lover more. When the doorbell rings, Ashley's appliance repair, Mr. Ashley eviscerates the upstairs freezer while she reads, types, fans herself, goes down to check the wash, hoping the red napkins hadn't faded onto her white bluegrass 10K t-shirt. She spent yesterday afternoon after the summer gully washer interrupted her reading of A.S. Byatt's retelling of The Genie in the Lamp, vacuuming water from the downstairs hall before it soaked the rec room carpet. She hangs the pinkish t-shirt out in the sun and wonders if the air conditioner repair person has been bewitched. After Mr. Ashley leaves, while she starts a pot of Turkish stew. She ponders Yeats's late poem, where the aged man has sailed the seas and come to the holy city of Byzantium. So she is not yet old. Sometimes she wants to be, so she can leave, turn her back, get a new life, go poof. Thank you.
Thank you, Libby. I'm so glad that you were able to read from California, all the way from California. And next is Wendy Jett.
Okay, hello, everybody. I am all the way from Lexington. Woo, inside New Circle Road. Okay, so I don't feel like I'm a poet. I feel like I write poems, and someday I will be a poet. So this is a very short poem, which is what I typically do. It is called Nurture. God bears her breasts to nurse humanity. Eyes closed, weak, unable to suckle, we turn away. God pulls us closer, weeps.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Next is Mike Wilson.
Hi, thank you. I'm happy to be here. And Katerina, thank you for hosting this and for all you do to promote poetry and to support poets. You're much appreciated. I'm Mike Wilson. I write a lot of poems that are political. I write more poems that are spiritual. And the poem I'm going to read is a little bit of both. Tissues tossed to the ground. I weep at the drop of a hat. When I run out of hats, I weep on general principles. For wars on TV, video games of cruelty, for billions of undeclared wars that are our lives, for cold, unblinking eyes of inevitability, for angry disenchantment with Dr. Phil, for believing ignorance is knowledge if it wiggles, for Facebook pages outliving their profiles, for madness, suit and tied, high-heeled and sweating, for trench coats cloaking schemes of schoolyard voyeurs, for static drowned by car insurance jingles, for eyes pinwheeling, keeping up with Kardashians, for fistfights when truth has no skin in the game, for kisses closing eyelids of a corpse, for to-do lists when their why dies, for peace found neither in work nor unemployment, for unblockable robocalls, for 1,000 telephones that don't ring, for underground rivers of bile sharpening knives, for lollipops sucked down to the stick, for the neighbor who mows his lawn every day to blunt the growth of demons in his mind, for the demon summoned to play dual roles, savior and executioner of the ache, for an open wound shivering inside her sackcloth of fiction, buttoned in poetry.
Thank you, Mike. Next is Lay.
Hi. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm echoing what everyone else has said, but this was just really a lovely idea. I'm happy to be here. I'm from Lexington, and I have been here a long time. I've been in Kentucky a long time. I've lived a few different places here, but I'm originally from up north, northern Illinois.
Please tell us your complete name.
Lee Claire Schmidly.
Thank you.
My poem is titled How to Be Gone. Stay in bed, a voice whispers. So I think about not doing things and then watch while I do them. I fall asleep times when I should be eating pot roast or drinking coffee, black, and then wake, unable to formulate questions. I'll get my period and it's like, oh, well, that might be a reason. But listen to me. The person who is here, that is me. Yet this place is another transition. Where do you live? They ask. Where do I live now? Now gets eaten with the days on the calendar, but I can't clean any spoons for the day after tomorrow. I am full of now. I am full now. I arch my eyebrows too much and try to compensate for all the time in my head. We'll get you home soon, Anne says. Anne, my Anne. And soon becomes my signpost.
Thank you, Lei. And Leslie Moyesei is next. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Please say it right if I did. And you're on mute still. Please unmute yourself if.
Oh, there we go.
Good.
I live in Louisville, and most of the time right now of my writing attention is going to working on an historical novel about Julian of Norwich and a children's novel from the point of view of Ginger from Black Beauty. But sometimes a moment captures my attention, and that's what started this poem. After a decade, with balance destroyed by her stroke, she never expected to ride a bike again. She can no longer balance. Then, oh then, her sister brings home an early Christmas gift, an adult tricycle in her favorite color, blue. She circles the driveway circle, giggling, negotiates the slight uphill and downhill grade with growing confidence, stronger and stronger strokes on the pedals. Grin widening, she navigates through fallen yellow leaves, savors the splash and their whirl around her wheels. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie. Okay, let me make a quick scan. Has everybody read? Everybody has read, right? Anyone left? Well, I have the poem Honeymoon by Marianne Peel that I would like to read to you because I know that she made every effort to attend and she's on airplane right now. So maybe the Wi-Fi in the airplane is not working. I hope I can do this poem justice. It's called Honeymoon. Listen, the banister is heavy with a dead possum. No, the banister is splintered by the heft of a raccoon. Yes, spiraled tail between its legs, glassy-eyed, downturned mouth, paws splayed to climb. Listen, this is a congregation of corrupted animals. No, this is a tribunal of taxidermists. Yes, of men in plaid shirts who know the burden of ammunition in their pockets, whose hands corkscrew their way through intestine and liver, through spleen and spine. Is there a receptacle for discarded parts? for abandoned shards of bone, for remnants of gristle beneath the fingernail beds. Listen, the bride and groom inhabit a hotel stuffed with dead animals. Eyes like water stones, the old Baba crushes between her canines. Ears pricked alert with the glue of embalming fluid. Listen, this is the place of consummation. Sheets will be inspected for first blood. The clerk at the desk comes to attention at the ping of the counter bell. He is counting teeth that have escaped from the dead possum's mouth. He clangs his fingers over an abacus. Listen, the couple climb the stairwell. They maneuver around the wet wing of a hawk, the matted tail of a lemur, the bloated abdomen of an otter gone suddenly still. The bride's veil, now tethered to, snags on the claw of an adolescent bear cub. The groom's cummerbund brushes against the belly of a pregnant doe. The clerk tenders the couple a roadkill cookbook. There will be tripe in the morning's omelets, blood in the gazpacho for brunch. So this is Marianne Peel's poem. And just to make sure that all the finalists are read, there is the poem by Claudia Love Meyer, and I don't have it printed. I expected her to be here, but I've pulled it up and I'm going to read it to you. It's called, I hope I can go through with it. It's a really moving poem. It's called Crematorium. You looked asleep. I imagined you resting after the tall day, after the last time you laughed while the sun ribboned dusk into streaks of flame, after the black sky swaddled you, blanketing you in stars while you lay silently on the ground, fingers of grass stroking your arms, the night shadows grown long. I pictured you reviewing your day, saying your longing prayers, taking your medication, and waiting for peace before you closed your eyes and finally went to sleep. In the end, before the fires burned the shell you left behind, I, Mama, kissed your brow, now gone cold. I wouldn't eat or drink once I got home, not while the chill of your forehead lingered on my lips. So that was Claudia's poem. And wow, that was amazing, wasn't it? Feel free to unmute and make noise, or if you have any comments, or if you want to say something.
That was wonderful.
That was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yes.
Thank you everyone for being here. Really appreciate you.
Thank
you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Katerina.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you, Katerina.
Bye. Keep
Bye,
in touch
everybody.
and keep on writing.
We
Oh,
really
yeah.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, we do.
Will you
Bye.
put